understand auto increment now. What is auto increment? And as you can see here, it will help you to make auto number generated column. So let us say I have a column serial number. In that serial number, I don't want to provide any value. Automatically number will be generated like 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of things. I'll tell you the some other automatic number generation in other RDBMS. If we talk about MS Access, there we are having auto number. If we are talking about Oracle, we are having sequence there. If we talk about Microsoft SQL Server, their identity concept is there. But in MySQL Server, we are having a concept of auto increment, which will help you to generate auto number. If you can see this alter table name, modify review ID, medium int, not null, auto increment, primary key. So this column, the value in this column will automatically generated. You need not to supply the value. Okay. And here you can only use integer. It should be not null. It must be a primary key or with a unique index. Okay. And only one auto increment column per table is allowed. So be careful when you are using auto increment. Next we have to understand foreign key. So if we understand foreign key, then we'll be implementing referential integrity. Okay. So this is one kind of rule in a EF code rule. As I said, there's a 12 rule of EF code. So primary key, okay, and foreign key, referential integrity, these all are a kind of integrity or a kind of rule in code rule. So if you find among all 12, you will find all these are the rule. Referential integrity constant defining foreign key. Referential integrity or FK constant ensure that a data in the referencing table has related a needed data in the foreign or reference table. Okay. So specifically each element of the column specified as a foreign key must match an element of a key column. Set of columns comprise a key of the specified foreign table. So the foreign key on the column or columns in the originating child table that references the column or columns in the referenced parent table. A foreign key leads to consistency between the child table and the parent table. There are two key foreign key rules generally applied: insert update rule. So if any updates happen, then foreign key should be updated. If any delete happen, then foreign key reference key should be deleted. So there's a two concept we are having. So before that, look at here, there's a one references keyword which help us to make a reference of parent table. So foreign key references table name and then reference name. So if you are using along with the column, just write this line. If you are writing after the column definition, you have to write this one. Even you can write this in a alter table if you are altering with the foreign key. You can see the mode option here. So we are making a foreign key add constant name, and then we are saying foreign key, this column references this on delete cascade on update cascade. Means if any update happen in the what table, film table, change will happen with film review table. Okay. If any delete happen to the film, delete will happen to the film review table. That is the referential integrity concepts. Once changes happen here, automatically the change will affect there. There's another check constant we are having. So that will help you to set the range for my column, that if let us say I have a age, so age should be between 20 and 60, that range I have to supply. Let us say I have a budget, in budget I have to supply the greater than 50,000. So what we are saying, budget float check, this is a check constant, budget greater than 50,000. So always if you're entering the value in a budget column, it should be always greater than 50,000. Release year check, release year greater than 2,000. So always release year will be greater than 2,000. So that kind of syntax we can apply, and we can limit the our column value here, right? Now there's a concept of data integrity. Data integrity. So first is required field. Okay. Second is, consider here I have a, I can say entity integrity. Integrity. Okay. And third is domain integrity. These all are the rule of COT. And fourth is referential integrity. Look at here. These are the four integrity we are having. Now consider you're having a table, and that table is the item table. Okay. Here I have a column, item ID, item name, quantity on hand, and price. I have another table, say I have a sales. In the sales table, I have a column sales ID, and then I have a item ID, quantity sold, okay, and then I can say price, something total, and something tax, and grand total something. Okay. So what we are doing here, let us say I make a primary key here. So I have 100 item, and I'm maintaining in an item table. This item I want to sell now. So if I'm making sales ID 001, I have to enter the what item I'm selling. So here I can enter only the item which is existing in my item table. How we can relate it? So here we can say from here to here I can establish relationship. So here I can make foreign key. So item ID is here what? It's a foreign key. So if I have one record here, I can enter many record here. So this is a one to many relationship. One to many relationship. I have one record, I can sell it many times, right? Sales ID is here. Suppose I can make a primary key. Now, when we are creating a foreign key, we can say if any changes happen with the price, that will affect here, right? So again, we have to do some relationship, and we can say this is called referential integrity. We are relating one table to another table. So I can say this table is the parent table, and this table I can say it is a child table. Okay. Parent and child relationship is here. What we are doing, we are making here a item ID, primary key. So at this level, we are applying entity integrity. Okay. We are making a sales ID as a primary key. So we are making a entity integrity applying here. Integrity is what? Like BR, or we can say it is a kind of constant which is helping us to impose restriction on the column. Okay. Now, if I say quantity should be between 10 and 100, it should not be below 10 or above 10, 100. So we are setting a range here, right? So if I have a range, means here we are applying the domain integrity. So domain integrity means what? It is a range. Referential integrity understood, primary key to foreign key, right? Entity integrity, if you're having some unique and primary key, it is a here. Let us say someone is trying to sell this, so they have to enter the quantity how much they want, right? So I just make here not null. Not null means it is a required field. So this is a required field, we can say here. This is the first integrity we have applied here, required field. Okay. So I hope you understood this data integrity part now. Next is the unique index. So we have seen the unique index, how to, and what is a unique index. Unique index, alter the category table to add a unique constant on a name, start the transactions, insert 3 rows with 2 being same name, define the unique constant. Even though only 2 rows are inserted, the unique failure on the second insert did not stop the transaction from proceeding. So if you can see here what is happening now, alter table, table name. So one column has been added here, unique category name, right? Now we are adding unique. Okay, so this is index here, index unique category name. Okay, and now we are saying here alter table, table name, add unique, right? This is the index name, and then we are saying on the name column. So there is one name column in my category where we are applying this index, unique index, right? And we are entering the record values bizarre. Okay, we are entering the record. So what will happen here? First is enter, second is again try to enter the same record, so it will not allow, right? So in this case third will get inserted now, this will only will not insert, right? Because it is a duplicate value here. And if you just say commit, if you can see here, we are doing here explicit transactions now. So we have just done here start transaction, and then we are doing commit our own, and we are checking whether this value is there or not. So that will return the value. Default values can also be used for undefined values. Let us say you are not supplying value and you want that some default value will take some time and some CT and all. So in that case you can say column data type not null, default you can pass some default values. So that will take as a default here. So it is just saying you can use time zone and all. So for auto increment there is a 0 default value. It will start from 1 increment. So for every data types there are some default value. If you're not entering, it will just take a default. Okay. Now managing index. Why we should make index? What is the use of index? Let us say you're creating table and then you are inserting the record, and later you just retrieve the record, right? So during retrieve The record may come fast or slow, how it will affect. So how you can make your retrieval faster? So just you need to create a index on the column in your table, and that will give you fast retrieval. So it will cut down the time it takes to execute complex query. Scanning and sorted index is quicker and more efficient access than reading a whole table. MySQL supports several index types that can be created on a table. When we define keys in a create table statement, MySQL automatically creates appropriate indexes on the columns participating in a particular key. So drop table, table name, just I am creating one table here. If you can see this whole table creation, one big table has been created. So review ID is my auto increment, film ID is not null, a review text, a review by, review category. Okay, so it could be professor, viewer, public, any of this value you can take. Not null, default public. So in this case we are setting default public, so by default this value will take. If someone is entering, then fine, otherwise it will take public. A review date is again, here we are having a primary key, and then unique index we are creating on the review by and film ID. So this is my film ID and a review by. This is a two column we are having on which we are creating a unique index. Okay, and we are applying the foreign key here on the film ID, that this will be the foreign key again, like that. And then we are saying on delete restrict, on update cascade, all these things we can do. Creating index. So a create index statement is there which help you to create index. So you can just write here create index, index name, on what table and what column. So using create index you can add unique regular and full text index to a table, but not primary key or foreign key index. So it is a full text, and the search will be the faster. Full text index is similar to regular index using keyword full text. So this example create a special full text index on the info text column or varchar data type in fill info text table. Okay, so if you want to see here, you can see this code now. So one index is getting created, create index, index film review date on this table and this column, right? You want to create a full text index, so that's a normal index. Here we are saying full text index. Okay, if you want to drop the index, then you just write drop index statement and index name. So drop index, index name. So first you just say alter table because you have applied this index on the table. So alter table, table name, and then say drop index. It will drop it. Even independently you can drop also.